Right, so today we're going to be talking about the domain and range of exponential functions. So as we've talked about before, x, even though it's like a number and the exponent up here, you can put any number you want into this function. Nothing's wrong with it. There's no square root or even root. There's no x on the bottom of a fraction. Your domain will always be negative infinity to infinity, which means all real numbers. Now the range is what's going to be a little different. So hopefully you can see better on your picture here. And this follows like what we were doing back in with a quadratic unit, except for one have a parenthesis instead of a bracket. So your range is your k value to infinity if it's pointing up. And it's going to be negative infinity to k value if it's pointing down. So like if we flipped over the x-axis. So we're going to go back up and we're going to state the domain and range for all of these functions here. I have to look at them. So for number one, my domain is easy. It's negative infinity to infinity. And then my range value, since there's no k on this up here, the k would be considered 0. So we're going to say 0 to infinity when this catches up to me. See, there's no k up here. So we're going to say 0 to infinity on this one. And check on number 2 right here. So again, the domain will be negative infinity to infinity, but you're right here. There's no k value again. We know up and down. But it is flipped this time. So make sure you note we flipped. So that's going to flip the range. So we're saying that everything up to this right here, everything up to that is going to work. So that's going to be negative infinity to 0 whenever it catches up to me. Negative infinity to 0. So go ahead and see if you can do the domain for number 3. And when you type it in, you can just type in like the words. You don't have to use symbols. So on number 4 up here, you can see it's pointing up, and there's no k value. So you'll see that I wrote down the domain is negative infinity to infinity. It never changes, and the range was 0 to infinity. Make sure you use some parentheses on all of these. So the only thing should change in any of these are your ranges. So go ahead and just write what your k value will be, and if it's going to be like negative infinity or whatnot. So pick out your answers for 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I went ahead and wrote down all the domains for all of those, negative infinity to infinity. So 5 has a k value here, 2. So then it's pointing up, so I'm going to say it's going to be 2 to infinity, as I remove. There's 2 to infinity on it. And then as that's writing number 6, you see there's no k value here, and it's pointing up. So that is going to be 0 to infinity for us. 0 to infinity. Now what was different about number 7 is that it is flipped, and there's a k value. So we're going to say negative infinity up to this value of negative 3 here. So negative infinity to negative 3. And then lastly, number 8, there's no k value, but it is flipped. So this will be negative infinity to 0. So there we go, negative infinity to 0. So now you've done the domain and ranges for all of these.